case you've ever seen one.
Oh, no.
It had piano, it had typewriter, old-fashioned typewriter keys on it, the first auto harp that I let him play. And so I said, well, the dulcimer plays in D, A, B, C, D, F, D, D. Are you ready for the next chord? A, and A. How hard is that? And then you just go. And that's the scale. It's a real instrument to enjoy playing. There's dulcimer clubs all over the country. I'm getting a dulcimer club going on in Nauvoo. I'm getting 2 people coming every Friday morning.
I'm not a musician. I don't read music.
Oh, he's a musician. He doesn't read music. That's all.
Play by ear.
He plays by ear. And he plays the guitar and harmonica and a ukulele.
Don't you have typewriter keys on that?
No, the one that I first brought home for him to play.
Oh.
And so that was, I had been learning a dulcimer, not this one, another dulcimer that I had. I'm still a weaver, I don't have a loom. Anytime you come across a big old loom, let Irene know. Anyway, I was a weaver in Hawaii, and a lady said, I'll trade you something for your rugs, what do you want? And I just was joking. I said, how about a dulcimer? My dad has a music shop in Ely, Nevada. I said, he does? Hey, wonderful. And so she had the dulcimer sent to me. I was so excited about it. Picked it up. Oh, my first dulcimer. Made in Korea. So it wasn't made in Appalachia. Anywhere, but I had fun with that. So the first, I suppose we're just starting.
Well, we have 10 minutes till 2 o'clock, and we have what we call, tardy people that come in.
Well, they'll all learn that sometimes it's best not to be tardy.
I know.
So their way to learn is to do it.
Perceive that maybe their timepiece is out of whack, but.
Oh, that's okay. Their time is out right today.
Yeah, but anyway.
Did you need to introduce us?
Well, but, yes.
Only at 2 o'clock,
Only at 2 o'clock, but I thought since you were talking, you know.
Oh, I'll tell some other funny stories in the meantime. So I brought this dulcimer in the house, and I played it for 2.5 hours. And these are drone strings, you know. The Tongans are not used to drones. They're used to harmonies in the back room, which is right close by. Learn another instrument! We had 14 children. We're up to 58 grand. And at Christmas time, we would go around and do singing. And so at Christmas time, we would get other instruments for our children. And we would sing in nursing homes and shut-in people that were shut-ins. And it was something that we did as a family. That was how that really started. Is that on our first year of marriage, he went up to pre-med school up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And all of the students got a little credit card from Hudson Bay Fur Company. That's the Sears of Canada. Oh, you know, you're shaking your head. One person's making. Okay, so I was so excited with my little card. Ooh, I went and got something for my mother, for my dad, for my brother, for my aunt, for my uncle, and my grandparents. And I was going to send them off on Monday. Sunday, we go to church, and our bishop pulls up a little card like this. He says, most of you students got a little card like this. He said, you know, Christmas is not going to be any fun in July. And then he proceeded to teach about getting into debt unnecessarily. So on Monday, I went and returned everything, and he came home. I was crying. He said, what are you crying about? And I said, I took back everything. Now I don't have anything to give to my... I said, what do the Tongans do for Christmas? They go around and sing. They give some food. They just have fun. They don't give a bunch of gifts folks don't need. Oh, all right. We got one guitar, one little baby girl, you and I, and a car. Let's go. So that began our 52 Christmases. And it was the best thing that we had. You don't know how many kids you're going to have when you start having a family. And they were so beautiful, I didn't ever say, what? No more kids? No. No. They were so beautiful. And so we had a very interesting life. We went down to Tonga twice, where he is from, the South Pacific. He taught in the high school and in the elementary school. But when we came back, we did most of our married life up in a place called Green Valley, Hawaii. They named it Green Valley, Hawaii because the Howleys, that's all you guys out there and me, not him, okay? The Howleys didn't know how to say Punalu'u, Ka'a'ava, and Laie. So they named them Red Valley, Green Valley, Purple Valley, Orange Valley, you know, they named them all those. So we lived in Green Valley, which is really Punalu'u Valley. Punalu'u means waters that jump up. They had a beautiful river that went through there. So we got 5 acres, and we had, the first time we lived up there in a grass shack that he and friends built, it was supposed to be temporary, a couple of months. How about 2 years?
Kerosene lights.
Kerosene lights. I had to learn how to deal with kerosene lights. And this is why I love this kind of ageist stuff, because I've lived in it. Then we went down to Tonga again, or went to Salt Lake City for a while, and then down to Tonga, back up. And the people that we sold the place to reneged on the payments. So we got the whole place back again. So we built another temporary house. We lived in our temporary house for 17 years. 10 years without electricity. And that's, pardon me?
Electrical system.
Yeah, then we made electricity from the stream. We've had such a very different life. And you might say, well, what brought you to Nauvoo?
When you first turned the lights on in the house, we sat for 2 hours.
Just looking at the lights and talking just like we were doing in a lighted house, you know. But it was, we had a ditch that was built by the Chinese in 1910, and it went through many tunnels on Oahu.
7 miles long.
7 miles long.
Carrying water to a sugarcane field.
Yeah. And so they had clean-out ditches, and so with one of the clean-out ditches, we put an 8-inch pipe, and then down.
To where the generator was.
How many feet?
2,500.
I think it was 75 feet down from where the intake was to the.
Oh, yeah, the drop.
Yeah,
yes.
the drop. And so it went to a small.
2,500 feet long.
Yeah, and they had the generator was only this big, and we just lit up everything. And when it started to dim, all right, somebody go clean the intake and I'll take all the leaves off so we have electricity. So they go clean them off, and he was a wonderful fisherman. You should have brought your spear.
I went out diving at night.
He dived at night, and it's a big long spear.
And the whole
From
island
me to you,
Oahu,
that's how long a spear
Honolulu
is.
It's 112 miles long.
Oh,
In circumference.
fish. Real fish, not
I've gone diving even at Waikiki Beach.
Yeah,
Different nights,
yeah,
alone, of course.
yeah.
And then to catch lobsters. Lobsters would leave, this is for your information, I learned it from some Hawaiians, that they would leave their hideouts and come out in the open, freely on the open, between 5 and 6 o'clock in the mornings. So to catch lobster, that's when I went out. One day, easy picking on the surface.
Yeah, when we were dating, he asked me to marry him. And I fell pretty much in love with him. I mean, yeah, okay, so that's pretty much history. But there was a bargain. We were sitting at dinner one time, and I realized that he was such an awesome fisherman. And you know what? I said, is it the Tongan wife's duty to clean all the fish that the husband catches? He was quiet, and he said, why do you ask?
I knew.
Because I said, if it is, the wedding's off. Oh, no, I'll clean all the fish. So he's cleaned all the fish he's got, which has been thousands. He would teach other people how to fish. He'd teach the professors how to fish that came from the mainland. And we always were supplied with wonderful fish, lobsters, and octopus, eels. We had
Turtles.
and crabs, and
Sea
turtles. Oh, you get turtles too. So I know you didn't expect to get all this, but this is all the pre-yada yada.
The pre-yada
The
yada.
pre-yada is now
The educational.
education.
Yada yada.
I guess we're going to do
You
education
can
now.
pay
2 minutes after.
Well, as you can tell, these wonderful people are just a jewel in our area, and we have so many undiscovered jewels, but these, unfortunately for them, I discovered them. This is Irene and Tomasi Tukuafu,
That's it.
just like it's spelled,
Perfect.
Tukuafu.
That's it.
It's cool because it reminds me of Finnish, because Finnish.
Then the last
I
name,
said that too.
Tuku means stop in Tongan. AFU is, Afu is spray rain. So when the rain stops, that's what it means.
When the Queen Salote went to Queen Elizabeth's inauguration, that's a long time ago, she refused to have an umbrella over her, even though it was raining. She says it's not proper, because she was honoring the Queen to have her bare head like this. And then, oh, I'm gonna turn this thing off. And
That's
so
it. Turn your
she,
phones
yeah,
off.
everybody
Turn
turn your phones off. Okay, and I will.
Yeah, anyway, these lovely people come to us from Sycamore Haven and Nauvoo. Irene is a manufacturer of musical instruments, and her husband, I'm sure, is the inspiration and for other woodwork that they do. They built their own home. And it was just, she's coming here to tell us about the things that she has made and the music that they play. Okay, so I would like you to welcome on behalf of the Lee County Historical Society, thank you for coming.
Last night I went to a lecture, and this man talked about, he said, know your history. And his objective of teaching that was that we can teach our children. Because if they have a feeling of knowing their history, their genealogy, their stories of their ancestors, or where they lived, or what went on here and there, then that will give them strength to battle problems that they have later on in their life. So I'm happy and honored with my husband to play at a historic society. I've done that over in Oregon, and I loved it. I worked in the museum for a while as a Dulcimer. Oh, that was so fun. Jacksonville, Oregon, which is right by Ashland, Oregon. How many have been to Ashland? Oh, you need to take a trip to Ashland. Not one person has been to Ashland. Loved Ashland, wonderful place. Well, we were talking before, Tomasi and I met while we were attending Church College of Hawaii, which is now BYU Hawaii. And so we did some walks, and then he says, we went up to, yes, we're gonna have to do that one. Okay, I'm gonna start more on the harp.
I took her to the back hills behind the school campus. And then we came back down at about between 12 and 12:30 in the day, hot and humid. And right by the highway, we were overlooking a very famous beach.
Hukila.
And I had, no, it's not Hukila.
But it wasn't Hukila,
It
it was
was-
a famous beach, near there.
And I had the feeling I didn't want her to feel like she was dating a bushman.
I knew that I was dating a bushman. That didn't fool me.
So I said to her, see, I had memorized poems and songs when I was trying to learn English in high school. And I said, I didn't want her to feel like she was a bushman, so I said, you ever heard of William Wordsworth?
And you know what? I hadn't. Every year I
Have
changed
you?
my major or school so that I wouldn't have to take freshman English. I hated freshman English. So he asked me if I knew that. I didn't know any more.
He
William
composed a
Wordsworth.
poem, it's called The Daffodils. Ever heard of that?
I'm sure some have. So I'll play a background to that, and you can recite that, okay? Oh. I wonder if I should put glasses on. Okay, yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, I can see better. Oh, there we go.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats high on vales and hills. All at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lakes beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars would shine and twinkled in a Milky Way, they stretched in a never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw at a glance, tossing their edges bright and waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such joking company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth to show to me had brought. For often on my couch I lie vacant and pensive mood, they flash upon an inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, dances pushed to death from him. So I recited it to her because I didn't want her to think that she was dating the bushman. And then like 12:30 that day, it was hot and humid. So I said, "Are you thirsty?" And yeah. And that's something I had planned growing up in Tonga. Watching my cousins and other guys climb the coconut tree, and then by the time they get to the top, they're worn out, they'll sit there, and I watch them break a fruit and crack them with the elbow to drink. So that's a nice trick to learn. So I practice it. So we went to an area where they had, on the campus, where they had some coconut trees. And there was one about 40 feet tall. And in climbing, I don't know if you watched the Polynesian Culture Center.
How many have been to Palma? You've been to Hawaii? Oh, okay, the rest of you need to go to Hawaii.
But here, the trunk is about this big around and about 40 feet tall. So keep the belly away from it, because if you hug it and crawl up like that,
He would
you're
hug
too
it
old.
today.
No, but I kept my belly away from it and walked up
Oh dear.
and picked about 6 fruits, dropped them down, came back down the same way, made sure she was watching, and picked one of the fruits up, used my elbow.
Man,
One shot, cracked it.
and he's drinking. And I'm like this. Because I was picturing my dad taking a hammer to a coconut, you know. Of course, that was a dry coconut. So
And then another trip to Hawaii, there was a Tongan man and a
this is
white
just
man.
lately,
Later.
my grandson.
They were pruning some coconut trees, and there were fruits on the ground, and leaves, and she was standing on the second floor of my cousin's house, and she was watching me walking toward the fruits. And I heard,
Aren't you
Aren't
a little too old for that?
"You too old for that?" And the Tongan man saw me and he said, "You gonna crack that? Sure, come closer and watch." So I picked up one of the fruits. He said, "Come down here and watch for it, see for yourself." And use my elbow. One shot, started drinking.
We went for a month in Hawaii, the month of July, because we have a granddaughter that was getting married on August 5th. And I was with the daughters. I have 3 daughters that live on the Big Island. And we went to some farmers markets to beat the band. I'll tell you, marvelous farmers markets. And I said, "Come on, let's go over here and have Dad open the coconut." Boy, they lured us away. And I found out later, we didn't want Dad to hurt his elbow. And I said, "Oh, he wouldn't hurt his elbow." Okay, I'm going to play something on the, I'll play one of my favorite hymns on the, it's a very old song.
See?
auto harp does not. The auto harp doesn't have that key on it. If I got another auto harp for him, I would tune it totally different so that he could play that song, those songs with me. I like playing in that key. When we moved to Ashland, Oregon, I became acquainted with a woman that I went to several harp conventions. The first time I went to a harp convention, we'll go start from that spot there. I knew I didn't forget something. Okay. So, with all the children that we had, he realized that, he says, Irene, I know you want to take that class at the University of Hawaii. He said, we'll find someone to watch the younger kids, and you can go to the class at the University of Hawaii. And they were, I love recorders, love the sound and everything. So this is a bass recorder. Well, 4 years I took that class, and a couple babies later, an Episcopal nun came with a little harp. And I said, ooh, wow. I'm always looking for another instrument for kids to play and me to play. And I said, ooh, wow, where'd you get the harp? And it was small. It was a nice little clarish, you know. And so she told me where. I wrangled up a bunch of money by making something so that I could sell, and I bought Tomasi a harp for Christmas. Girls, if you want something really bad, give it to your husband for Christmas. He'll have no use for it. So they, oh, I'll take it over for you then, dear. You guys are not laughing, okay. So anyway, with that experience of having that little harp, I went to my first harp convention in Washington State. No, I think it was in Utah, but they came from all over the states. And they had big harps like this with painted things on them. And I was real happy with my little harp until I saw the big harp. You know, it's called Harp Lust. So I went around and they were $7,000. And I said, oh, it looks like one of those big guys are never going to be in my life. My youngest was 2 at the time. And so I came around the corner, and here was this guy with kit harps. And I said, oh, wow, how much for the kit? And he said, $500. I said, oh, $500. I didn't have that either, of course. And then I got to talking with him, and I said, oh, where are you from? And he says, he's from Minnesota. And every Saturday, I used to listen to a guy on the radio, Garrison Keillor. How many have heard him? Yeah, you know, he got kind of raunchy at the end, but I really liked his early stuff. He had a lot of dulcimer and country music. So I talked with him some more, and he said, where are you from? And I said, oh, I'm from Hawaii. By that time, we've made electricity from the stream. We can see the ocean, and we have a stream that goes by there. And he goes, he stands right up, and he went like this, you know. I am an Eagle Scout, and I've got 3 teenagers, and we're looking for a place to camp in Hawaii. Could we camp on part of your property? No problem. How much for the kit? And so I got a real good deal on the kit. Yeah. And so Tomasi had already gone home because our first one got married at that time. So he'd already got home, so he picked me up at the Honolulu airport, and here comes this box, you know. And he said, what's in the box? Oh dear, I'll tell you about it later. Another harp. So it was all in the box that I was to make. And so he taught at the high school, and so I went to one of his other professors that he taught with, and he taught woodshop. And I said, wouldn't it be cool if your shop people would make a harp for a project? He said, why don't you make it? And I said, oh, those are all men's tools. I don't know anything about those tools. I got girls in my class. I'll tell you what, you drop Tomasi off at the faculty meetings. I hate those faculty meetings. And I'll teach you how to use the tools. Oh. This is harp number 53. I've made 54 harps. And it changed my life. It just opened up so many doors because of the music people that I became acquainted with. And one of them was International Harp Therapy Program taught by Christina Turin. Came across her at a harp convention. And that is playing for people that that are dying or that are wanting to get well in hospitals, and it opens up things. And so I'll tell you, one of our teachers, he was from Scotland and Ireland, and when he talked, he didn't move his lips very much. You had to really pay attention to see what he was saying. But he said, when you pluck a string, it is inside the room forever. But if you pluck a string, and you've got an open window, you do not know how far the sound can go. I thought, how far is the furthest planet in the universe? Because the vibrations, it all bounces off this wall, and bounces, like you throw a pebble into the water. Okay, so I was almost done with that program, and a lady from Florida called me. And she says, I have a girlfriend that's dying of cancer. She's an artist, she's only 40 years old, and she lives in Shasta City. That's about a half hour or an hour away from you, you know, probably less. Could you go play for her tonight? And I go, no, I have something else I'm already playing for. But I'll call to see if she's still alive tomorrow morning. And I did, she was, so I drove down. And it was her mother that was there, and some friends, and a Dr. Caring person, you know. And so I told Joan, just stay there and I'll just play music for you. So I played music for a couple hours, and got up and took a rest, and then came back, and the mother said, can you play some hymns? I said, oh, that's my specialty. So I got a bunch of hymns that I have from other churches and just played hymns. And at the end, she says, you are healing all our souls. And so I realized that the healing power of harp is really high on the spectrum of healing. But when you play music, that's real music, not hard music. I'm not talking about Mozart or all real hard stuff. I'm talking about simple enjoyment music. We'll play for an hour in front of the fire. Oh, we'll just do one more. Half hour later, we might as well go to bed. Yeah, it's getting cold. Okay, so this is our life. But we have many people come. We have this many people come to our house. You could have all come to my house. I couldn't have to haul these all over, but I love coming to this house. So thank you. So some of the things that I learned in that experience was that the lady from Florida called me and said, you were able to play for my friends. She said, I wanted so much to come, but I've been surrounded by fires. Remember that year when Florida was all in fire and people couldn't leave? Anyway, it was quite a few years ago. And so about a month later, I was getting my last class in that program, and a nurse lady came. I didn't know she was a nurse. Cute, gray hair, muckluck, boots on. She was just the cutest, spunky thing. And she says, I was told that an Irene would be here. Oh, that's me. I thought I was in trouble with something, you know. And she says, you played for my client on the one day that I was not there. She was supposed to die that day, and she lived a whole week more. I want to know what you did. So she became a harp therapist. And then 2 years later, I went to a harp convention, and the lady from Florida I got to meet. And she says, I want to learn to be a harp therapist. How far can the sound go? So when I make an instrument and I sell them, how far does that instrument go? It's grandkids are gonna learn from it. A husband's gonna learn from it. Somebody came over to the house one time, and I was playing. Oh, this is a fun story. I got so many stories, but I'll play some music in between. This is called a bowed, because it's played with a bowed. Psaltery. Can everybody see it? This instrument goes back probably 3,000 years, but they don't know. You know, when they speak of psaltery in the Bible, P-S-A-L-T-E-R-Y, we don't know if it's this one or not. You know, they have instruments of the Bible, which is a fascinating site to go to. We can learn anything on the net now. But when you play, all of that vibrations goes through my arm to me. Is that cool? You don't have to play real good. Just play for fun. Okay. One of our daughters is named Isabella. And so at Christmas time we would often play this piece. I'm going to have these out here, and I'd like you to try them for more than one reason.
Play this here first.
Okay. Came back with 2 instruments from Hawaii. I went to a shop that had drums. I still am going to make a drum someday.
Blow toward the windows.
Put a suit.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
That's all. I played that. It was one of Tomasi's distant cousins in a shop in on the Kona coast. And I picked it right up and went, blah. He says, I'd give that to you. I've never had a holy woman come in and just play it like that. So this is a Hawaiian nose flute. And to plug your nose like this. Don't expect much, I'm gonna tell you. That's why I gave the other one first. Okay, here we go. Have to plug one nostril, get this thing going. Yeah. Well, I said don't get excited. But they play, because in Hawaii is your breath, is sacred. When Polynesians would sit down to eat, the food gets cold, but you learn a whole lot before you eat. They tell of their ancestors. They tell of their history. They tell where they're going from. They tell so much. The Howleys, when they first came, all those boys right off Captain Cook's boats and all of that. Oh, all the food. So Haole means people without breath. Because we have breath, because our ancestors gave it to us, our mother and our father. So they didn't blow things with their mouth. In fact, actually they didn't really kiss. Tongans, I'm going to give you a Tongan kiss. You can see this? Okay, get this. He's falling asleep. A sniff on the cheek. That's a Tongan kiss. Okay, let's see what instrument next. Oh, this is a plucked psaltery. Okay, I've made quite a few of these. This is a nice instrument. I don't have to think about it. I have paper that come underneath here, just one note at a time. But Psalters. Okay, I'll get to that afterwards. Thanks. This is a liar, and I'm telling you the truth.
He's trying to.
Bad jokes. When I first built this one, before I built it, when it was available, I still deal with the same kit company. I modify them, I change them, but why reinvent the harp? My shop is only 8 by 16, so I can't have a whole bunch of big materials. And when I want to make a harp that's out of other material than cherry wood, I will go to someone and I'll have patterns, and then I'll have them cut out. Whether I had walnut one time. One time a woman came to me in Ashland and said, I want to make a harp out of the walnut tree that I swang in when I was a little girl at my grandparents' house. I said, ooh, you got the wood already? She said, yeah. I said, okay. So I had another man with his big bandsaws cut the wood, and that was a joy to make for her. And then when I lived in Oregon, I had access to myrtle wood. Beautiful, beautiful wood. Can't get it here, but so I do cherry wood or cherry wood. Or cherry wood. If you could hide to Kolob in the twinkling of an eye, and then continue onward with that same speed to fly, do you think that you could ever through all eternity find out the generations where gods began to be? That tune goes back to at least the 13th century, and that's one of my very favorite tunes. But it's a 10-string lyre. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They don't have that little upstep. And I'm wondering if the 10-string lyres that David played for Saul were tuned different than this. I'm sure it was. But when I watched online the Iranian women play, they had it to the floor, and the strings come up in this same configuration. They have a bridge. This is often skin. This is wood that I have here, spruce, and this is walnut in the back and walnut up here. So this instrument, guitars are made from the same style. See this bridge here and the strings coming up across it. Guitars, dulcimers, almost all instruments are made from that. I'm under the impression it's supposed to be an education thing, that's why I'm going to yada yada yada. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Anyway, you guys gotta pay attention, laugh at my jokes anyway. My guess is correct, this won't be in tune. Okay, a banjo, you can see how the banjo is similar to the lyre. It's got the bridge, a thing for strings, and up here, and for tuning. You are gonna be my holder, because you smile and laugh at my jokes and you're wearing my favorite colors too. This is how I tune everything. Woohoo, we love these tuners. Oh, not too out of tune. When you move instruments, you have to tune them. Especially with the banjos are never in tune. Okay, that's pretty good. You know, we have to think about one of the things in the Psalms. May my heart be in tune as David's harp. So I think about that. Is that what it's supposed to be? Not be. Almost. Tomas has to play with me. He has perfect pitch. It used to drive me nuts. He'd say, "That's out of tune." Oh, until I learned about the tuners. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much, my music girl. Banjos were brought over to America through the African slaves, and they had skins across here, and most of them were four strings. Only later on did they get 5 strings. My uncle, my mother's brother, played 4-string banjo in vaudeville. My grandmother's sister, youngest sister, danced in vaudeville. So we've got that kind of musical fun background. It's not the island's fair that are calling to me. It's not the balmy air or the tropical sea, but it's a little brown gal in a little grass skirt, in a little grass shack in Hawaii. Through that island of wonderland, she's broken all everybody's hearts. It's not hard to understand, 'cause that lady is a gal of hearts. I'll be leaving soon for the thrill I enjoy. It's not the island moon or the fish in the pool, but it's a little brown gal in a little grass skirt, in a little grass shack in Hawaii. So if I just play one song, you guys think I know how to play something? This is number 7 banjo, and I like making these very much. Okay, let's play some Dulcimer stuff here. I'm going to tell you about piano stools. I love piano stools. And so I found one on Sycamore Haven Drive. That is a very nice antique store to go to. Rita's Antique Store. If you haven't been there, just go to Sycamore Haven Drive and see Antique Store. Go inside and go up there. And she'll come up there in a little cart. Her prices are reasonable. Her stuff is beautiful. So I bought a piano stool for her. And that's what I was using for my harp. Okay, I had about 15 people inside the house, and I was going to sit down and do some performing. And I sat right down, and I brought the harp to me, and it was just too much for this little bam! And I was on the floor. That one over there, you need to check on that, because that's getting ready to do that little trick to somebody. But this one here is a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Let's see. We'll do an Appalachian song. Oh, they tell me she came to our class. She played the recorder really good, but oh, when she talked, I just loved her southern accent. And so she called me up and said, "I'd like to bring my 2 sisters to your house." And so they came up to their mountain's house, and I played that song. Well, we're waiting for 3 more verses. Our grandpappy was a circuit preacher. We know all those verses. Could you please play that 3 more times? I only know 1 verse, but that's a happy song. And I always picture their circuit preacher grandpappy going around singing that song. Let's see. from Australia that come to Nauvoo often. Who's that jump? What you got here? I'm the folks sing what you have. I'm the same much. Wait to see this big boy sing. I'm the folks sing what you son named Danny Boy. Oh, well, let's get the same beat together. He's great, We started off, but not everybody was here. Let's do Yellowbird. How about key of C? Oh, see, that's in D. song will do. We'll do another island song, even though it's not so much done in Hawaii. It's a song that he sang when we first met. And I'm not a hula dancer. I don't ever pretend to be one. But I think the hula dance is the most beautiful dance in the world. They just involve everything. But I'm just going to sit here and do just some motions for fun. No, okay, so it's called This Is My Island in the Sun. Start. This is. Oh, maybe. This is my island in the sun. This is my island. Yeah, is that right? This is my island in the sun, where our people have toiled since time begun. That's not the right key. Try another key. Try G.
What?
How about G? See what happens when you play G. G, that guy right there. Yeah.
It's my island in the sun,
where my people have toiled since time begun. Though I may sail down many the sea, her shores will always be home for me. Oh, island in the sun, built to me by my father's hands. All my days I will sing in praise of you, for as wide as your shining sands. But the day will never come that
I can't wait
to the sun will come. Our Memphis a carnival with calypso songs philosophical. Oh, island in the sun, built to me by my father's hands. All my days I will sing in praise of you, for his waters your shining sands. The next song we'll do is a Tongan love song. He taught this to me when we first got married, and in 1999 we took a trip to New Zealand, Australia, and Tonga. When we got married, there were 235,000 Tongans in Tonga. Go home and look up on the net, Tonga, T-O-N-G-A, and you'll learn, now that you've met one Tongan in this area, this guy right here, you'll say, oh, we know a little bit about Tonga. But when we first got married, there were 235,000 Tongans in Tonga. When we went back in 99, then there was maybe 100,000. They have moved off the island. It's the last remaining kingdom of the Polynesians. And they have moved to New Zealand, Australia, America, England. They've got, if there's an airport, a big airport, guarantee you'll find a Tongan, because that's how they go back home all the time. They 14 kids. Could I get one to work for the airlines? Just one. Okay, this song, when we sang it there were about 60 of his relatives in New Zealand, in Auckland. And so they came to the hotel we were staying at, and we started singing the song, and they started laughing. And oh, I thought maybe I was saying it wrong, you know? So I looked at him, and he was laughing. He was doing it on the guitar, borrowed guitar. And I said, why are they laughing in between the verses? He says, the lyrics. I didn't know what the lyrics were. Mushy lyrics. I love your fat bod. All of this kind of stuff. Explain it now, not in the song. Yeah.
In Tongan. Fisi, Ninimo, Fisi is blossom. Ninimo is dizzy.
Oh, he gets
It's
so
so
dizzy.
beautiful
Yeah.
that it made him dizzy, in other words. So, Oya we Fisi Ninimo. Lea mai te I kai peio. Just give me a word, a yes or no. He's trying to propose to her.
Okay, we'll see.
Holy I loto, my heart is aching for you. Ihe hoha, tonu pasika ki hoa. I'm aiming straight for your heart.
Okay, we'll do these. We'll do two verses
too
and
much.
not in between talking. We'll just do this
Okay.
verse. Oi. How about key of C? That's a key of C one. Oi, oi. Give me oi, oi. Oi, oi. Oi,
saying that you have to know how much I love your God and so on.
Okay, what else was I gonna do for these people? Oh, we haven't done yet. The back row's gonna have to stand up.
Stand up.
Willie.
Willie, the stick man.
Okay, this guy. I had a girlfriend give this guy to me, see? Oh, don't get scared. They're not very good people. They like you. They were found even in the Egyptian tombs, and I did not know this until I came here. Okay, so one of the ladies that served a mission in Nauvoo, she had two of them, and they were taller, and they were painted black sandal kind, you know, that kind of dress and everything. They didn't have dress on it, but they just had them all painted up. And I was like I am, all excited. Oh, can I see that? She says, "Don't touch it." I go, "Oh, okay, I won't touch, you know." And so she said this was my grandmother's. I said, "Oh, really?" And then she told me the history that these are found inside Egyptian tombs. Oh, I didn't believe her. Went online, sure as shooting. And so they're found all over the world. But we use this at Christmas time. So we did this little fun one. You guys want me to see in the back row? You have to stand up for a minute. This is the wake up sit up. Christmas time. We just take a few now. You guys get the whole shebang. I still have more instruments at home. I have a hammered dulcimer, and I'm always looking for something new, as you can tell. Do you have questions?
How did you learn to build? I mean, I know you used a kit.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to.
Oh, I went to carpenter shops and I asked questions. I still do. The carpentry, wood lives. I'll tell you about this right now. Wood lives. All this wood in here lives, even though it's cut down. Could that mean also why our Lord and Savior was a carpenter? You know, think about that. That's a thought. But when we have a lot of moisture, oh, the harps complain. Every time it's a change in weather. I have to tune everything. Tune it again. So we're getting ready for lots of tuning of my instruments. But I got into it by just learning and asking. This is not the only stuff I do. I make spoons and spatulas and butter spreaders. I came back with a whole bunch of...
You make the stools and
yeah,
the music
the
stand.
stool and music stand. And I just love working with wood. So I have a shop. He doesn't mess with my shop except clean it. Yes.
Just as you brought up the sentiment, it is so old and so universal. There's a saying that was often printed or carved into instruments centuries ago, and it was in Latin. It said, "Dum vixi tacui immortua dulce cana," which means, "While I lived, I was silent, but in death I sweetly sing."
You have to speak that last sentence louder.
Oh, I'm sorry. "While I lived, I was silent, but in death I sweetly sing."
Oh,
For the wood.
well, I'm not silent when I'm alive. I guess they're going to say, oh, she's finally gone, she's finally silent.
He's talking about the wood.
Oh, if that's what you talk about, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
When I lived, I was silent. Oh, I would, yes, I guess the trunk was silent, but every tree has its own song. I love walking in, anywhere where there's wind, because every tree has a song. They have long needle trees. They're called ironwood trees in Tonga. It has the most beautiful sound, whispering. It's just take your breath away sound. But I like that. I think you're going to have to write that down for me.
I'd be happy to.
Write it down. Write that down for me. Any other questions, comments? You look like you have a question, but you don't know where you want to ask it.
I want to know what you string the harp with.
Oh, Okay, the first 5 strings. Okay, harp lesson. This is only 40 pounds. My first harp is 18 pounds, and I still have my first harp. Every red string is a C, and every blue string is an F. So we go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We've done 1 octave. So 1 octave, 2 octave, 3 octave, 4 octave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes. Now, this is metal around metal, of these 4 or 5 of them. And then we have nylon around metal, and then all the rest of these are nylon. I have made harps where the harpist wants to have 3 or 4 strings of gut string. Gut strings take a lot more patience to keep in tune because they also react to all of the moisture. I'm going to tell you something about this rug. This rug is difficult to play the harp. You come here and look through here, all the red loses. It's like playing blank, blank, blank. They go red and blue in here. So it was a challenge to play this harp on this rug. I've seen performers come and they lay a white sheet out and then they put their harp on it so they can see all the strings. I've seen them do that.
You would be glad to have done that for you.
Oh, no, I didn't know what it was. And so I've learned how to deal with it. When I would play in the farmer's market in Ashland, Oregon, people would walk around with a red dress and, oh, no more red strings. Oh, they're gone. Then I could see it again. These are levers. I have a lever on every string. I'll play F. Raises it a half a step. So these little levers are wonderful. When I first started making harps over 25 years ago, they had some little tiny lever and we had to tune and a little peg and a little peg here and tune it hum above. And so then I would change it to another kind of lever that became popular. And the harp that I have now has this lever on it. It's called the universal lever, and you don't have to change it to heavier strings, lighter strings, lighter strings. So that's a good question about the harp. The most dangerous, the most humbug part of harp is the weakest here, here, and down there. And so after a while, I have a big metal bar inside here. And I put it in up here and I wind it, and so it comes on down. This can totally be taken off. I don't ever take this apart. Take this apart, and if I need to repair anything. I haven't had to repair anything on my own harps, but I have had to repair harps of others. Once you do something that, okay, fix my stuff. So sometimes I do that. Any other questions?
Oh, just quickly. Since you're on that topic of the hooks, have you ever been tempted to make a pedal harp? I mean, you ever
Never.
My gosh,
Never.
wouldn't that be nice?
No. It is a straight pillar. It is a straight pillar, and all the mechanisms on the inside. It is due to the pedal harp that we don't have a harp in every home in Europe and England and Ireland. Because who came with a well-tempered clavier?
Oh, wow, of course.
Oh, of course. And so they had to do different things to the harp to do that. And so that's when they came up with the pedal harp. And those are way too expensive. A pedal harp starts, the cheapest pedal harp, cheapest is $15,000. These are $4,000. I sell my harps for $4,000. I sell smaller ones for less money. People, eventually, they want the bigger sound. And I have pedal harpists buy my harp because this is only 40 pounds. Their harps are very heavy. And they have to be regulated. They have all the mechanisms on the inside. We just need to move the things up here like this. So, and this has a very thin, I'm not kidding you, very thin, but it's 5-ply Norwegian airplane ply. They used to make airplanes out of very thin plywood. And so that's what I use for my my soundboard, and I like it that way. I have thickening in the back, and I put that in there. There's a harp knot I learned about. This is abalone shell. The abalone shell comes from New Zealand, actually, but I buy it from Maui because the guy in Maui gets the shells, and then he makes it small enough for me to use, and I like that very much.
Let's play it along.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Oh, I will just stand and sing it and make them sing it too. You guys gotta read my lips.
You play it?
Yeah.
You do.
You can do it.
C, C, do C.
See?
Yeah. You sing. Oh, watch my lips. May the love of Son of God be with you. That's really what that means. So they say, oh, aloha for coming here, la 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 la. But that really means something much deeper. So thank you so much. You're welcome to try anything that we have here. You can ask me questions or come and try anything. I'd love you to try anything that I have.
Karen!
When I have orchestra, you know, the Nauvoo band, the brass band that comes. I have them over at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I feed them breakfast. This is part of the tradition, you know. And so they come over and have breakfast, and I give this a short deal like I did for you. Anybody want to try an instrument? Oh man, the whole stampede up here, and they come and try everything that I have. If there's any time you want to come to my house, just give me a call on the phone. If you want someone to come, I'll be happy to have you come. That's our life there. We just sit on the Mississippi and watch the world go by. Never mind what else is going on.
Yay. Well, anyway, thank you for coming. We do have light refreshments, cookies, and lemonade. And come and try an instrument. I want to see Joe come up